Being cool might not be the most important thing in the world, but a bunch of scientists recently surveyed nearly 6,000 people across 12 countries, from the US and Germany to Nigeria and India, and asked them what makes a person cool. And what they found can be very valuable for all of us. You see, they expected to find big cultural differences, since it's easy to imagine that what's cool in Turkey might be different than what's cool in Chile. But they didn't. In fact, people from all 12 countries described cool individuals with the same six traits: outgoing, hedonistic or pleasure seeking, powerful, adventurous, open, and autonomous or independent. And even though I don't think being cool is necessarily something we should all strive for, taking a closer look at these findings will give us some clear practical strategies that can significantly boost our interpersonal results, both privately and professionally. But before I share those strategies, I need to mention what might be the most important finding of the study, which is something I've seen confirmed countless of times in my work over the years. You see, the researchers found that if people think you're trying to be cool, you instantly fail, since several of the coolness traits are related to making your own choices for your own sake and being unconcerned with fitting in. So the moment you're visibly trying to fit into some cool mold, you've already failed. As I repeat over and over again in my workshops, the goal isn't to pretend but to become. So let's take a look at how each of us can boost these six traits in ways that are authentic to who we really are. Let's start with one of the most important ones: autonomy. The study shows that people who follow their own path, have their own opinions, and make their own decisions tend to be highly valued. This doesn't mean to disagree just to disagree, but to say and do what's genuine for you. For this to become an authentic trait, we have to practice. If it's uncomfortable, start small and with people you trust, but build the habit of speaking up and making your own decisions, especially when your thoughts differ from those around you. Next, openness is about being willing to explore new ideas and try new things. To build this trait, a simple exercise is to try one new thing every day, even if it's something small like a different type of coffee than you normally order at the coffee shop. Once new things and ideas automatically make you curious, interested, maybe even excited, rather than skeptical, uninterested, or dismissive, you'll have this trait in place. Being outgoing is about engaging socially and expressing yourself with some confidence. This isn't about being an introvert or an extrovert, or about being loud or popular. It's about having communication skills and social comfort that enable you to engage with most people in most situations when you choose to. And I have several free courses about this that you'll find at courses.tjswebsite.com if you want to learn more. Hedonism, in this context, just means to allow yourself to enjoy life. Ironically, many people try to act cool about things they really like, to not show too much enjoyment, excitement, or whatever. But it turns out that people who pursue pleasure and fun without guilt or embarrassment are considered much cooler than those who don't. The exercise? Start clearly expressing your enjoyment whenever you feel it, and create a habit of seeking out fun and excitement wherever you can. Powerful is not about having power over others, being the boss, or always leading. It's about having a certain sense of control over your own circumstances. It's about knowing what you want and not hesitating to go after it. A simple exercise to get this started is to create a habit of asking yourself, what do I want right now? And when you come up with an achievable answer, go get or ask for it. Finally, adventurousness is all about stepping out of your comfort zone into your growth zone and doing things that might be a little unusual, exciting, or even scary, but that you find interesting. Changing your routine, being spontaneous, planning to try something new and exciting, and working on the exercises that I've suggested earlier in this video should get you off to a good start. Another bit of good news is that the researchers also found that moderate levels of these traits are better than extreme levels. Someone who states that they'd prefer to watch a horror movie than a comedy, but doesn't force their horror-hating friends to watch 2 hours of monsters and ghouls, will come out ahead of the person who throws a tantrum and goes to watch the monsters alone. In other words, we don't have to be extreme about these traits. They don't have to be a big part of our personality. They require balance. Be independent, but not alienating. Be adventurous, but not irresponsible. Have your own opinions, but be open to other ideas when appropriate. As I've seen over and over again in my almost 2 decades of coaching and workshops, the people who come across as the most charismatic and cool aren't trying to impress anyone. They've simply developed genuine comfort with who they are, what they want, and their willingness to go after it, whether it means standing out from the crowd or not. And if you want to work more deeply on any of these, you can check out my online courses for free over at courses.tjswebsite.com or head over to tjsworkshop.com to join my confidence and communication workshop in Las Vegas in the spring. Now, are there any traits you consider cool that the research didn't mention? I'd love to hear about them.